In our last video, we spoke of Meka's surgery, and 3 days later, we left for Colorado for 7 weeks. She was such a trooper and handled the travel just fine, and while she's still recovering, she's doing much better. While in Colorado, we stayed in 6 Colorado state parks, visited another which does not have camping but some awesome hiking, a very unique U.S. national park, and of course celebrated our granddaughter's very first birthday.
Happy birthday, dear Marlo. Happy birthday to you.
So join us in this series of videos as we show you great places to camp while in Denver and the surrounding Front Range, and we take in the beauty of fall in the mountains, and even an early winter. The first state park we stayed in this time is in Divide, Colorado, and it's called
Bueller,
not Bueller, but Mueller State Park. It sits at 9,700 feet above sea level, so coming from the Dallas area, which is at 600 feet, that takes some getting used to. So let's go check out Mueller State Park.
We were in Site 6, which is a pull-through, and it took us a little while to get level.
She's out of practice. I haven't done this in a while. So Level Mate Pro says that it's level, but it's not. It's way off, so I have to recalibrate that again. But we're gonna have to pull forward a little bit. And just like that, you're in the Rockies. 2-day drive, but it's definitely worth it. It's normally a 1-day drive without, trailer and an RV. It's a 2-day drive. This is Mueller State Park in Divide, Colorado. And I've driven up here before, and we stayed in Woodland Park last year, but we've never stayed here. We're here for 3 nights, and it's not full hookup, 30 amp. Got to fill your tanks, no water. Got a dump station, obviously, but just the smell of all this is awesome. Yeah, check this out. This campground there's a number of different loops. We're in the Rendezvous, something like that, reservoir loop or something like that. Yeah, we're gonna pull through, but it's on this big ridge, and you can see Pikes Peak from some of the lookouts, and we'll go check that out tomorrow, and we do a little bit of hiking around. Obviously, Meka's not going to be able to do it with her injury. She did really well on the drive up, and she just, she walks around a little bit, but she just wants to go back and lay down, and you can't blame her. Still recovering. So, well, one of the benefits of this state park, there's a ton of trails. And we haven't done any yet. And this is the first. Yesterday was just kind of a weird day. And so we're starting at 10,000 feet, 9,999 if you're being accurate, at least if my watch is accurate. But this is the Elk Meadow Trail. It's not a long one.
It's a blue trail, so it's easy, but it's a good one to kind of get our hiking legs back under us again.
And this is kind of weird because this is like a tale of 2 seasons, because we already feel like we've had a season by going out west, and now we're back in Colorado for several weeks, and I guess about 6 weeks or so.
Yeah. So
we're going to do a bunch of different state parks, and we've always wanted to go to this one, Mueller. It's just beautiful. What's cool about it is you feel like you're away from everything, but you're really not. You're not too far from the town of Woodland Park and everything, but let's check this out. So it says Elk Meadow. We're not sure if we'll see elk. We know there's a bunch of elk up here, but yeah, let's go check it out. Well, in just that short amount of distance, in about a mile or so, I started my watch a little bit late, but so we dropped down from $99.99 to $93.80. Not sure if this is starting to go back up, but yeah. I think this is, they call Peak View Pond back here. It's the tiny little pond that's right off the trail. You can get there easier if you make a left when you come out of the trailhead. And that's kind of one of the first things you'll see. We took the opposite way. So we saw the Meadow first, and now we see the pond. That was a Elk Meadow hike trail rookie mistake, is I took a video of the pond from way up there and not realizing you come right down to the pond here.
You think there are any lake trout in here?
I don't know. I don't see anything. I see a lot of movement of water, just see some bugs and stuff like that.
I told you I had to shed some clothing.
You know, some channels will do anything for views.
No worries. I have on more underneath, so we're all safe.
Back. You know, when they classify these hikes, this one is classified easy. I don't think they take into consideration not so much the elevation, but the people that are not used to the elevation. So it was a great hike. It really was. And I'm not sure the GoPro is going to capture this, but just the view starting from here is amazing. And I don't know if you can see, you go down into that valley basically, and that's where the Meadow is. So
yeah, and then come back up kind of that side right there. But it's probably good timing on our part too, because show them what's coming. And the other thing I'd like to mention is we literally saw there's 0 other persons on the trail. It's just
no wildlife except for some birds and some squirrels.
I mean, look at the parking lot.
Yeah, it's empty. It's really empty here. But so just a couple things. One is that our first video from last year was in Taos, and we did that hike that started at 10,002 and went to 12,002, but we weren't staying at 10,002. We were probably staying at about 6 or 7. We were staying, right in Taos. I'm not sure exactly what the elevation is, but it's not 9,700 feet like it is here in Mueller. So
I remember huffing and puffing a lot.
And this is really our first hike this year at altitude, because when we went west this year, we didn't really hike. We hiked, but we didn't really hike at altitude. Not Colorado Rocky Mountain altitude. So my motto is, if, on your first hike is, I'd say start high or go home. And I don't mean that high, so just kidding, but start at a high elevation.
We are in Colorado.
You are in Colorado. So we're going to head back and grab some lunch before we get rained, hailed, and lightning done. Hopefully there's no hail.
And get back to Meka, because you will notice that we're hiking without Meka. However, they do do tell you no dogs are allowed even on leash on these hikes.
Yeah, because supposedly there's so much wildlife. We just didn't see that supposed wildlife. So
let's go check Meka out.
We hope you're enjoying the video so far, but before we get to the remainder of the video, we wanted to take a moment to thank the sponsor of this video, RV Snap Pads. We do a lot to protect our RV, whether it's using surge protectors, propane protectors. Something that's often overlooked are the landing pads for your stabilizer or your leveling jacks. And they're under a lot of pressure. They're taking a lot of weight on some very hard surfaces. Snap pads are a simple thing that's ingenious. They're made out of recycled rubber. They literally snap into place on your pad, and they're semi-permanent. You're not going to lose them. Now, you can take those off if you need to, but 4 years of traveling with our RVs, and we've had them on our Alliance, we've had them on the Lance that we had in 2024, and we put them on the Airstream that we purchased in 2025. We've not lost one of those. My belief is that RV snap pads are one of, if not not the best value for your dollar in all the RV accessories. We wouldn't have an RV without them. It's very simple to order and it's very simple to install. To order, what you want to do is measure your landing pads, and they even have a pull down on their website where you can plug in the type of RV that you have, and it'll give you some suggestions. Once you place the order, and we have a discount code that we'll list here below, then when you receive those, all you're going to do to install them is put a little ring of Dawn around the inner edge of the snap pad, get them centered under the pads, and then place downward pressure from your RV into the pads until they literally snap into place. They call them semi-permanent, and yes, you can get them off if you really need to. In 4 years of traveling, we've never lost any of those on any rigs that we've had. So again, this is one of those things where I believe it's a no-brainer, and I think based on what we've seen around the campgrounds, a lot of people do have these as well. But if you don't, I would suggest you take a look into those. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
Mueller State Park is located in Divide, Colorado, which is only 30 miles from Colorado Springs. Also nearby is the quaint town of Woodland Park with plenty of grocery stores and, of course, a Walmart. It's also not far from the town of Manitou Springs, you know, just in case you want to try the infamous Manitou Incline. Also nearby is the Cog Railway to Pikes Peak, or if you prefer, you can drive up to the top. Mueller State Park sits at 9,700 feet above sea level, and while you feel like you're worlds away, you're actually very close to restaurants, gas stations, and shopping. There are 130 campsites, some with truly magnificent views of the west side of Pikes Peak. With over 5,100 acres and 55 miles of hiking and equestrian trails, the park will indeed keep you active. Some of the amenities, like the visitor center, are new. While there are no full hookups, and we only had 30 amp electric, at this altitude you really don't need your air conditioner. This state park is very popular, so be sure to book early.
Well, it's the morning that we're leaving here from Mueller State Park, and I think I made a comment yesterday when we were doing the hike about it being our favorite state park. I guess let me clarify that. Kind of in Colorado, we love state. I'm sorry, I'm winded because I just walked up the hill to this. But State Forest State Park is an amazing park as well, and we've not been to all of them. James K. Robb was great over in Fruita, but this one is just really spectacular, and we're going to take a little drive around and show you some of the spots and some of the different loops that we have. But you know, many of them give you views like this, and this is spot number 8. I want to call it, this is Revenuers Ridge. I think I pronounced that wrong a couple days ago. But just what a magnificent spot, and there's a number of other loops where you get views similar to this. So if you're ever in this area, Divide, Colorado, it's just a beautiful state park. It's not huge. All of the common areas, you know, the camper comfort station, the just kind of the visitor center are just beautiful, and they've really done a nice job with this, and a lot of space between sites, a lot of pull-throughs, just because you're basically up on a ridge, and then some of the loops go down, so you've got a hill either side. So some of these on the main drive mostly pull-throughs, and they've got some pull-throughs going between the main drive.
Uh-oh. I'm just trying to get warmed up.
Thanks for watching this review of Mueller.
Bueller?
No, like I said, Mueller State Park. We'll see you next time.